Nothing whatsoever that happened. It's a group that's biased, and particularly in this case, but they're allegedly journalists. All right, now here is the area I just told Dawn. There's one area where maybe strangely, but maybe it tells you, and we have Riley Gaines on the show tomorrow at 12:15. He's got a new docuseries, among other things. The question is, Harris has effectively, according to the media, flip-flop on fracking, the border, accents, a million different things. But not when it comes to transgender issues. It still seems to be the same position as far as we can tell. So here's a new Trump ad making that point, and this area was included in it. The number of surgeries done in Pennsylvania on teenagers, sometimes preteens, that we paid for through Medicaid is astounding. Pennsylvania was one of the worst involved in this, with Wolf and other hospitals that were involved. Here is the ad.
Just in, Medicaid data shows 97 underage girls had their breasts completely removed. 14 underage girls underwent hysterectomies, sex change operations attempting to make young boys into girls. Penis amputations. Sound weird? Disgusting? It is, and you're paying for it. Kamala Harris supports these taxpayer-funded sex change operations. A vote for Harris. A vote for medical experiments on kids.
That's exactly right. So, again, I'm still in the camp that I want another debate. You know that. People that I speak with that I think are plugged in, et cetera, they think it's a good idea, too. They don't think you'll see a repeat of what ABC did, or if there is an attempt at that, President Trump has the ability, we've talked about that, to turn it on them. And this is an area where VP Harris has not been questioned thoroughly enough. When her spokespeople are, they just deflect. They don't say she's changed her mind. They don't say anything, which indicates she hasn't changed her mind. And this is an issue that riles people up. Particularly, you heard the ad, and that's true. Some of these surgeries, a great number of them, were paid for with your money and my money. And Pennsylvania is one of the centerpieces of this. I mean, it kills me. You know, for years, I have touted Children's Hospital. Luke was in Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, thought it was the greatest in the world. But sadly, they've allowed themselves to be taken over by elements there that want to do and have done apparently all this stuff. I can't support that. Right there, that tells you about the institution. They're out of bounds. So strangely, maybe not so strangely, this is the one area where Kamala Harris has not flip-flopped on this. Why this area? Well, we'll ask Senator Riley Gaines tomorrow, and I think it's because the mob comes after you. You think the Gaza mob is bad. The mob around this issue, Riley Gaines gets chased off college campuses. They have to hold her in rooms as they clear the mob off. They're crazed. And they will come after you constantly. They'll make life hell during your campaign. Strangely, think about it. Think of all these other issues. This should be one of the easier ones to say, yeah, I've seen what goes on here now, and I've changed my mind. This is not right. So 855-839-1210, you get a line. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all you have to do is just push pound 1210. Now, everybody in the world on CNN, the mayor of Springfield, Ohio, are saying, oh, no, President Trump should not go there. We're already under the gun, and we have a presidential visit or a presidential candidate visit. We couldn't handle that. That's exactly where Trump and Vance ought to go. Do a town hall, do it together. Do it there in Springfield, Ohio, and make the point that we made yesterday. We had on the, or was it Monday, the Charleroi councilman and mayor, the small town in Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania, under the gun. Just unbeknownst to them, suddenly the town population, about 50% Haitian. They don't know who did it, how that happened, other than the Biden administration. They have a kindergarten class of 60 kids, 45 are Haitian children who don't speak English. You can imagine what that's like. Isn't that the issue? Yes, Trump and J.D. Vance ought to go there. Now, I know they'll get into the media, the whole thing about the animals, which I don't think Trump should have said during the debate. But I still think go there, go to Charleroi, go to one of these towns that is under siege because the elites. Now, little update. Nice work by Henry. I'll let you tell the second one. Jim Lee. What I like about this guy is anybody that's willing to come on and debate these things, I like. He is either the former head or he's the current head of the Springfield Township Managers, Winmore. Remember that? When they went after the police and I went out there, some of the funny conversations we had with supporters of going after the cops over a First Amendment right to talk about the thin blue line. Remember that? He's coming on the show tomorrow. He is a signatory to this letter of 500 elected officials that say, yes, we need more of this refugee settlement. So we're going to ask, if you're a resident of Springfield Township, are you on board with that? We're going to ask how many. And Henry had a conversation. I'm glad the guy at least answered you, with a guy who's a pharmacist, but he's a supervisor of the town council in West Norriton, Henry. Correct. Who is that? And he's a signatory.
Jim Miller.
What did he say?
Jim Miller, and he simply, first off, let me say I appreciate a response, because most of the time I just go left in the dark here.
Right.
So I appreciated the response, even if it was just, no thanks, Dom Giordano's reputation precedes him.
Oh, man, does that mean, wait a minute, Dr. Bentz is in East Norriton. It means West Norriton's going to give me the key to the city also? Is that what you took away from that? Come on, Jimbo. No, you took something different away.
Yeah, safe to say he did.
So we believe, though, he's acknowledging he's a signatory to this as far as we know.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Yeah, he's not saying, oh, this guy made it up. I know nothing about it. I mean, then we'll clarify that. I'm looking from documents, though, that say it's Miller, it's Jim Lee, it's this Carol woman we talked about, Carol Kenny, no relation to Jim Kenny that we know of, who is on the supervisors of Upper Marion. And I think there was one more, have signed off on this letter in the middle of this saying, yes, we need more resettlement of people here in their towns. That's what they're committing to. So I'm really happy that Jim Lee's going to come on the show tomorrow and explain to us why he thinks people in Springfield Township would be on board with that. If you're in a town out there, do you think your town would be on board with that? And if you say, well, we're going to set limits, well, how come the people in Springfield, Ohio couldn't set limits? Or Charleroi? Or Aurora, Colorado, where they have Venezuelan gangs? I mean, how in the world do you think you can just inundate people in this manner? Isn't that the issue? So, yeah, I think Trump ought to go to Springfield. All right, side question. I think it's a really good one because we've never done it before, and I think we've done just about everything at this point, 4 or 5 years of the side question. We're talking a lot, at least on my show, and I think across the media, about small towns because of this issue of immigration/refugees. Hit us with that all-time small town, and it's all in the call. It's all in the way that you present it, either real or fictional. When I was very friendly with Mayor Pete Byron when he was mayor of Wildwood, he would say, there's a lot of small towns in America. I don't know if Wildwood's population in the winter is more than a couple thousand people. But when you're the mayor of Wildwood, that's more prestigious than being the mayor of Springfield, Ohio, even though that's 50-some thousand, right?
Yeah, at least you got to go to the beach.
There you go. There's that. So I'm going to take Wildwood off the board. I'm going to take Mayberry. I think that's fictitious. I forget what the real town is with Andy Griffith. And I'm going to take Woodstock off the board, one of the all-time favorites. How about yours, Henry?
Yeah, so I'll take 2 off the board here,
Sure.
1 real, 1 fictional. The real one, I'll stick right here in Pennsylvania, Centralia, with a population of only 5 people at this point. It's been abandoned for the most part since a coal mine fire started back in 1962.
It was 62. I knew it was a long time. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and somehow there's still 5
people. There's still 5 people still. Oh, my God.
Hope that's one family. And then the other one I'm going to take, fictitious, is Pallet Town from Pokemon. If you played the Pokemon games, one of the early
you a
ones.
Pokemon guy?
Oh, 100%.
Man.
So red, blue, yellow. If you played
God.
the next gen, leaf green, fire red.
God. Oh,
you
my
know that
goodness.
Pallet Town is just 2 houses and Professor Oak's Pokemon lab. Doesn't get smaller than that.
Oh, my goodness.
Love Pokemon.
They infiltrated. Luke is a Pokemon guy, too. So, all right. It's 855-839-1210 at the end of your call. Should Trump go to Springfield, Ohio? Of course. This rally, going to Long Island, I think it's like when you went to, where was it? The Bronx. It's going into enemy territory, saying we're not afraid. It brings out diverse people. Not going to win New York. I know what he's saying. But it brings out, and African Americans and Latinos see this, and it seems to help trigger good results for Trump. I know it's weird, Long Island tonight. All right, 855-839-1210. Jump in at the end of your call. Hit us with that all-time small town. Is the small town better than the big city? I'd say no. But there are people that would tell you, yes, neighbors. Everybody knows that's still true today. But small towns, because of this refugee thing, or small to mid-size, are definitely in the news big time. 855-839-1210.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we are having 2 fabulous back-to-school specials. The 2024 S60 front-wheel drive sedan and the exciting electric C40 each can be leased for 36 months for $369. Due at inception would be a down payment and taxes and registration fees. But in New Jersey, the C40 has no tax. The $369 is an incredible payment on each of these Cherry Hill Volvos. Visit Cherry Hill Volvo. Our team would be honored to partner with you.
The following is a paid commercial message.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever, overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-727-9105. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Giordano Show. 855-839-1210. Media yesterday, the media cycle pretty much still failing to address and have people debate this. Here is what I'm going to play you. The Harris, one of the Harris leaders. I did see her at the spin room. This is, I believe, Duckworth, still trying to tell us that it's Harris, Walsh co-chair. Don't blame us for the Trump assassination attempt. We've always said he's a threat to democracy. So are people just going to say you can continue to say that mixed in with Hitler, and that is not different than the usual nonsense you see in political campaigns? To me, it's easily distinguishable. But the media is just bypassing it because Democrats are saying we don't care how many assassination attempts. Today we had this stir about maybe explosives in a car out there in Unionville where the Trump rally people are already gathering. They're saying it doesn't matter. Don't you understand? We are going to continue to say this because this is a fact. All right, so here's the co-chair, Duckworth, trying to make the argument, we're not going to stop doing this. Why should we? That's cut 12.
And at the same time, Trump is blaming the latest assassination attempt against him on Democratic rhetoric that he says is a threat to democracy in our country. How do you respond to him on that?
Well, I think that he has been the most inflammatory person, and in fact, Democratic rhetoric has not escalated in any way in recent months, hasn't escalated in any way. He has always been a threat to democracy. We've always said that. After all, this is the man who incited the riots on January 6th, who continued to cozy up to white supremacists and other racist hate groups. He is being very hypocritical, and he's trying to really turn the page away from his terrible performance at the debate and all of the things that are coming out now with his failures on IVF, his failures when it comes to coming up with any type of a plan for the economy, and he's just doing everything he can to try to switch the dialogue, the discussions that's happening from what's truly at hand, which is the voters have a real choice come November, and it's not going to be Donald Trump.
So you don't think, Senator, that it's dangerous to call him a threat to democracy?
I think he truly is a threat to democracy. I think what is dangerous is what Donald Trump did on January 6th, which was to incite violence.
Okay, you can stop there, Jim. So here's the pivot point. We're going to go back to January 6th again. Now, Wolf Blitzer could have followed up as I would have that. How about Hitler, lady? How about Hitler? How about that? Is that dangerous to do this? So they've tried to stake out the position. Well, he's the one that's inflammatory. That's why they're trying to shoot him. Okay? The first one, arguably, has nothing to do with Trump or Biden. He was going to kill somebody. The second one, clearly, was trying to kill Trump. The Trump argument, I think, is the better argument, which is you keep on saying he's going to end our system and or he's Hitler. This is what you're going to get. She politely says, we haven't ratcheted up. We've been calling him that all along. Oh, my God. Just the sheer stupidity and arrogance. We haven't taken the bait and ratcheted up, Wolf. We've been doing that all along. All right. Now, there's no settling this because they are not going to stop, as I said. How many of these would have to happen, and how many of them would clearly be motivated by people who believed he's going to end the country as we know it? They don't care, they're telling you. They're going to continue with that. So the question is, do you pay a political price for that? The media could be the one that help, as they should, extract that price. In other words, if you get the juice of getting your people riled up to believe that Trump is going to end what they grew up with, and that he is Hitler, and God knows what that means, then all right, that's the upside. Don't you have to pay a price for that through the media saying you have no credibility? You're the ones that are taking this to a level where there's going to be increased violence. Trump is the one they're targeting. You must want to take him out. That's why you're doing this. Media doesn't look yet like they're going to come anywhere near that, so Democrats are going to keep on doing it. We could every day have another person, another nonsense with the Secret Service or today's thing with alleged explosives, and they're saying we're going to continue to do this. Now, in a debate, we've talked about this. Trump could turn it on her and turn it on a David Muir. Here's David Muir yesterday boldly going on the Kelly and Mark show and telling us nothing to see here, even though the ABC News, the shows this post the debate, he's lost 12% of his audience. Wow. Shouldn't that tell us something? This is Cut 22. Here's David Muir.
We spent a lot of time, and I believe it was our duty to ask the issues that Americans care about. You know, the economy. Are we better off than we were 4 years ago? Immigration. What are you going to do about the border? Why did you wait so long before you acted on the border? Those types of questions. Reproductive rights. Afghanistan. Do you bear any responsibility? Peaceful transfer of power with the next election coming. You know, these are all really important issues. The issues.
All right. So just a lot of noise that's out there. I just saw on The View, and we'll get it and play it. No rush, Henry. It's on Gravian. Sonny Hostin, Brittany Hughes, the wife, Brittany Mahomes, the wife of the biggest athlete in America, arguably, because quarterback is the biggest position in sports, on The View, saying that she doesn't respect her interracial marriage nor her biracial kids because she liked a pro-Trump Instagram post. Hey, lady. She's the one that is in a biracial marriage and has biracial children. She's the one, because of her political point of view, who's been ostracized by her buddy, Taylor Swift. She doesn't respect her biracial marriage or her biracial kids because she likes Trump's policies or likes something on Instagram from Trump. This is the level of what this election is about. It's about beating these people. Just imagine, well, I don't know if I could say that day after. It might take a couple days after the election to see what this is going to be like. Imagine a woman who's in love outside of her race and has biracial children that she loves. She can't support Trump. Again, this is another example of saying this is not about policy or even this person, I don't like their character. You can't do that because your children and your husband, I guess, are at risk. So why was one of the major questions? You have that? Okay. And you know what? People many times attack Joyous Joy Behar, or they don't like Whoopi. I get that. The worst. The biggest viper, because she actually believes she's a lawyer and intelligent. The worst on The View is Sonny Hostin. She's the most poisonous. Here's what she said.
That does make me hopeful, actually, that this Swift effect will speak to more women about the true character of Donald Trump and will turn them away. But to your initial point, I know you said we weren't going to talk about it, but I was. It just seems to me that since she is in an interracial marriage, she should have known that to support a racist is problematic. Her children are biracial, and her family is one of the families that in the 70s could not have lived in any of Donald Trump's buildings. So it just seems to me that maybe she's just not that politically savvy, or maybe she's just not read in.
Granted,
but it's
all we know is that she liked a Trump post. We don't know. She hasn't stated that she supported him, but that's fair to interpret that she may have. But we don't know that she's a supporter.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable how blatant this is. And I don't care what anyone says. Taylor Swift has shown, and the Kelsey boys, they've shown the true colors. She's out now. She can't be in the box. 2 home games. She's out. And they're playing around with the guy who's the most important player in the NFL, arguably the greatest quarterback in history, They're playing around with his wife. What a dilemma. Taylor Swift and Mahomes. I wonder what Andy Reid would say. Oh, yeah, I got to go with Taylor Swift on this one. Yeah, Taylor Swift's more valuable. We don't need Mahomes. Who's the backup here? You know, my goodness.
Backup is Wentz.
Yeah. You're fooling around with the guy at the most important position who arguably, I still think Tom Brady has the edge. He needs more time. Is the best in history, or right there. He's second at least. And his wife, just because of this with Trump. And you're saying, yeah, that's what we're going to do because he's a racist. That's a fact. He's Hitler. That's a fact. You're out, lady. It doesn't matter about Patrick Mahomes or anything else. All right, let's go to Bill in Bucks County. Bill's in on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Bill, good afternoon.
Good afternoon there, Dom. Sorry, I'm in a crowded room here. I had a answer to the side question.
Sure, go right ahead. Yeah.
My small town, it has Route 66 going right through it, and it's in Winslow, Arizona. Is the name of my small town.
All right, you got it. The Winslow, Arizona, the tune. That was a big hit, without a doubt. Yeah, Winslow, Arizona. All right, so 855-839-1210. You get a line. Mike Watley on the show today, the RNC. Tomorrow, Riley Gaines at 12:15. And this is big because this is the one area where Harris will not back down. And that's transgendered surgeries, gender-affirming care, all that stuff. Think of the giant flip-flops she's gotten away with to this point. And yet on this one, she chooses not to do it. She's afraid. And also we'll hopefully talk with somebody involved with signing this letter saying bring more refugees to our town. People in city governments of one sort or another across the country saying, yeah, we want more of this here. Bring it here. Hope to bring you that tomorrow. But if you're out there in West Norriton? Is it West Norriton? Right. You ought to talk to your local pharmacist, the Miller guy. Ask him, how many people are you going to be bringing to West Norriton? Or ask the Carol Kenny woman over in Upper Merion, how many would you like to bring here? Just think about that. Even in the middle of this, they're signing off on this. And these are not big operatives of the Democrat Party, as far as I know. That's the way they see it. They think their towns would be happy to do that. How's it working out in Springfield, Ohio, Charleroi, Pennsylvania, Aurora, Colorado? All right, 855-839-1210. Jump in right now on Talk Radio 1210.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
The forecast remains unsettled as a storm system lingers off the coast. Clouds today with some off and on showers. It'll be muggy with a high 74. Tonight, shower chances continue with a low 65. And for Thursday, partly to mostly cloudy, less humid with a high 78.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Lose 20 to 40 plus pounds guaranteed with NJ Diet. NJ Diet uses DNA and blood work to help you lose weight and keep it off. Tune into their radio show Sundays at 2 or visit njdiet.com.
The most important part of your financial future is the firm you choose. You see, all financial firms are not the same. Traditional firms that sell securities can't guarantee income and are vulnerable to bankruptcies, market losses, capital gains taxes, and ongoing fees. But the exclusive crash-proof retirement system continues to protect over 5,000 clients from market losses and bankruptcies and provides guaranteed tax-favored income with the potential for double-digit interest returns with no fees whatsoever. Our one-of-a-kind proprietary system continues to protect billions of dollars in assets. Are you in or near retirement? There's only one crash-proof retirement for the American retiree. Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Spring Hill Country Club on October 16th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. You may know me from my book, Money Hacks. You may know me from my radio shows, and you may even know me from some of these commercials. But listen, I'm teaching stuff that people need to learn about money. In fact, my favorite topic is money. So go to investorschooling.com and you will learn things about money that you never even knew existed. We will teach you things about real estate, about the stock market, and about how to use your IRAs properly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Tom Giordano. What this is coming down to is, are the undecided voters, and they're probably not following this. I mean, the Harris strategy of just saying the same thing. The meme on Twitter, you know, a kid says, "Hey, Mommy, what's for dinner?" And the mom answers, I was a middle-class kid. Opportunity economy. Yeah, but when's dinner going to be ready? I was a middle-class kid. Now, you could say, it's hard to believe this is the strategy. Well, that's better than showing you're a dope, showing what your plans really are. Just answering in these wild forays back into your childhood. I agree with them. It's better for her to do that. She's got nothing otherwise. That's why the only place really, because she's not going to do any media where the media is going to ask a follow-up. She'll get nuts. I'm talking here. You can't be asking me that. I'm still telling you about people love the lawns in my neighborhood. I haven't gotten through lawn care. I can't be answering what I'm going to do about inflation. Here's Patrick Murphy, who's a really nice guy. Remember the former congressman? Fox likes him. He's on the Outmaneuvered show, or he's on Fox as the surrogate for Harris. Listen to this exchange where Pat Murphy says the Trump rate of inflation was what again? Here it is.
Right.
So wait a minute. What did you say inflation was when Biden took over?
I said inflation was up at high at 9%. It's now down to 3.2%.
No. When he took over from Trump, it was 1.4%.
Yeah, and there was also eight. But there was also
I want to make
$8
sure,
trillion
because
in debt,
Biden says it was at 9%, and I don't want you to get confused with his
debunked.
His false talking.
Patrick Murphy, Pat, give the show a call if you're traveling back from Fox. You got to be kidding me. It was 9% then when Trump left office. No, it wasn't. It's an opportunity. My God. I didn't think in the beginning people would notice what Biden was doing. We know exactly what he was doing. Go big, spend all this money. We know exactly what it does. It creates inflation. And then it spirals. And inflation is what has brought down any number of countries. People can't take it. And with Harris, what evidence do people have that she will be able to do anything, if she really wanted to even, to bring down not the inflation rate, but the cost of groceries? What is it now? Now, Trump has a specific policy, whether you think he can do it or not. This is cut 20, Jim. Last night, President Trump in Michigan, here's what he said he will do.
So I know the cost that goes into raising children and running a household. Yeah. People just can't survive now. How are you going to bring down the cost of food and groceries?
Good. Very good. Thank you. So we have to start always with energy. Always. I don't want to be boring about it, but there's no bigger subject. It covers everything. If you make donuts, if you make cars, whatever you make, energy is a big deal. And we're going to get that. It's my ambition to get your energy bill within 12 months down 50%. If I can do that, we've done a hell of a job. 5-0, not 15, 50. Interest rates are going to follow, and actually they're going to follow for another reason. The economy is now not good. And interest rates, you'll see they'll do the rate cut and all the political stuff tomorrow, I think. And, will he do a half a point? Will he do a quarter of a point? But the reason is because the economy is not good. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it. But we're going to get interest rates down, and we got to work with our farmers. Our farmers are being decimated right now. They're being absolutely decimated.
All right. Now, you're going to say, they can say, well, Trump's not going to be able to do that. Harris isn't even telling you anything that she's even considering to doing. She's even dropped the price gouging, the price fixing. That sounded too much like socialism or something, they're told. She's just going to talk about lawns, and she's going to talk about her childhood. So the question is, are people seeing this? Now, people that are plugged in, watching this, they're seeing that she's not offering anything. But she's killing time. And the bottom line is, she's not skilled at doing this. She's got nothing that she's going to do to bring down baked-in inflation. So why not just do these pretend interviews with the black journalists who are not journalists and didn't follow up with anything and saying, you just said the same exact thing yesterday. What are you going to do to bring down grocery cost, the actual cost? And the answer is nothing. You're going to accept it. It's baked in. At least Trump is giving you something to assess. Can that be done? What's the history? Well, what he did before. Just on that alone, you think it would give people pause to say, yeah, in my self-interest, we can't have any more of this. I just can't afford it. How do people get past that? Well, there's only one way to get past it. Well, two. I want to get an abortion someday, or I'm looking at my 2-year-old daughter. You better have the right. She better be able to get as many abortions as she wants. That's one thing they'll say. They won't say it in the way that I say it. And two, they'll say Trump is Hitler, we'll lose the country. How dare you bring up what an avocado costs when we're facing down Hitler? Isn't that what the wealthier upper middle class or slightly above middle class Democrats say? They don't say, oh, we can withstand this somewhat. Suck it up. Just pay that. That's the price because we're stopping Hitler. Isn't that what all this comes down to? They can't just say bad policy. They can't just say, look at how some of the things he says, how repugnant that is. They got to go end of democracy and Hitler. So you got to suck it up in your own self-interest and join this war to stop Hitler. Here's Howard Stern, too. He's not mad at Trump. This is Cut 24, Jim. He hates you Trump voters. Here's a great man.
This whole idea, if you like me, you're good, and if you don't, you're bad. I mean, I've been the victim of this. I don't hate the guy. I hate the people who vote for him. I think they're stupid. I do. I'll be honest with you. I have no respect for you.
All right, and several people making the point that the average, in the past, listener of Stern might see the Trump appeal. I can see that. Now, I don't know listeners of Stern today. They might be nostalgic. They might be a lot smaller than it used to be. That's what I think.
Hey, listen to me, you dummy.
Because the guy is just inverting exactly what he was all about in the future, in the past. Let's face it. I've said it before. That's the time he went on the tirade. I wish you had been there that day, Henry. I've seen all this stuff on Twitter. Not as bad as I thought, though, once I learned. I mean, I thought the death threats would be incredible. There were like 4 or 5 of them. Uh-oh. He went on over 11 and a half to 12 minutes just attacking me. And what got under his skin, his producer found it, is we were talking about why he so resents Trump. He had Trump on the show a lot, yucking it up, a lot of that stuff. He thinks he's smart. Trump's not. He sees Trump became president. How could that happen? He wants to be taken seriously. He doesn't in the tank Hillary Clinton. He would have torn Hillary Clinton apart in the heyday. She's exactly the type of figure.
if you go back to 1991, and it may be on YouTube, but one of his guys, Stuttering John, actually got into a press conference where Jennifer Flowers was there, and he just totally went after her. It was great radio. But we're going back to the 1991 Howard Stern where he would just tear into these people. He's just probably mad because he didn't come up with the idea of running for president first.
Well, he was running for governor, sort of, but, Trump realized what it takes to do this, to get through it. The first time around, second time, he didn't get shot and shot at, potentially. But this time, the third time, God knows the price. You got to be willing to pay that price. All righty, it's 855-839-1210. You can grab a line, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210, and we'll get you on board. So the race is on with the people that are not paying attention or undecided voters in 6 swing states. I don't count North Carolina, by the way. If Trump loses North Carolina, he's going to lose the election. There's no way. I don't count that. Are they paying attention to Harris's inability or strategy just to say nothing? So far, it's a good strategy. It's got her neck and neck in this. And then when we get down toward the end, who knows what may break out? I haven't seen polling yet that Trump's got any bump with the second assassination attempt. I'm sure it's slight. It kind of headed off whatever was there from the debate. Yeah, the media just doesn't want to talk about it, even though we've had another incident today, whether or not that was just over precaution or not. And I would predict you're going to see more and more of this. They're going to keep on saying this, and there are enough maniacs out there who want to be great. Henry hit upon that the other day. This guy wanted to be a main character. He's been around the edges of this forever. What better way than to shoot Hitler? That's the theory, as jumbled as his mind is. The guy in Butler, I just think he's wanted to be glorified. He would have taken a shot at Biden if he had the opportunity. That's more about the Secret Service. I think tomorrow we're going to get a little bit of some official report on Butler. Coming up, Josh Hawley, the governor, the senator from Missouri, has a bunch of whistleblowers. He released a report last night on what the whistleblowers tell him about the Secret Service. Trump's elected president, you got to be in the top 10. You got to reform the Secret Service. FBI, Secret Service. Start with the Secret Service. It's doable to do it very quickly. They don't get to run the country. That's what they think they can do now by making these determinations about what level are they going to protect at. Members of Congress are finally saying what I've been saying. No, we're going to tell you. We don't care about your protocols. Trump is the biggest threat by far. You're going to protect him at a presidential level. Well, that's not the protocol. All right, you're fired. Let's bring in somebody else. Well, I'm only following the protocol. You're fired. How far down do we have to go? All right, I'll give you that from Hawley, what the whistleblowers report is. First, though, hectic time, autumn, back to school in full bore, all kinds of planning issues. How about putting Captain Chucky's in charge of managing your meal planning? Here's one thing you can get. Captain Chucky's has his all-new wild shrimp scampi ravioli. Chucky's teaming up with Vera Pasta, offering lobster, crab, and now the wild shrimp ravioli. Remember, too, Rose's weekly favorite, the Bang Bang Jumbo Lump Crab Cake. It is Jumbo Lump. It is a delicious, creamy 5-ounce Jumbo Lump breaded crab cake with a kick for those who like to spice it up with some heat. Captain Chucky's, though, we don't emphasize this enough. You know the 7 crab cakes. I have my favorite. You may have yours, the shrimp, the Dom roll. But what about the fact that Captain Chucky's has the desserts, one-stop shopping, the soups, the sides, the appetizers? And that Gulf shrimp is a huge hit. It's always wild-caught, never farm-raised. My favorite, though, the Dom roll. All this good stuff. I forget how many Captain Chucky's now we're up to recently, but they span the area. You can find hours and locations and all that good stuff. Just go to WeLoveCrabCakes.com, WeLoveCrabCakes.com. Headed to the shore, Captain Chucky's at the shore.com.
Hi, this is Carson Daly, inviting you to be part of Odyssey's mental health initiative, I'm Listening. As a dedicated mental health advocate, it is my great honor to again be hosting this awesome 2-hour special, along with Dr. Alfie and Katie Neal, as we engage in this very meaningful conversation. Connect with us right here for I'm Listening.
Next Wednesday, September 25th at 7 p.m. here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
At PGW, safety is essential to delivering clean, reliable natural gas to Philadelphia homes and businesses. If you smell gas, call PGW at 215-235-1212. Don't miss the Education Show with Dom Giordano every Sunday morning at 5:30. Find out how you can help your child or grandchild succeed. Sponsored by New Hope Academy.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's Dom time. Dom Giordano. Weekdays, noon till 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
All right, it is Dom time. So as I mentioned, Josh Hawley put out a report late last night with various Homeland Security / former Secret Service, or I guess they even may be current whistleblowers. And the summary of the report, it's 22 pages, say the Secret Service Counter-Surveillance Division, which performs threat assessments of event sites, did not perform a typical evaluation of the Butler site and was not present on the day of the rally. Secret Service personnel declined multiple offers from local law enforcement to deploy drone technology, despite the fact that the would-be assassin used a drone to survey the rally site mere hours before the attempted assassination. You know, this is an indictment, though, of where we are as a country, okay? I have a whole list here of these. You know my feeling with the Secret Service, though. One of the reforms has to be, when you have something like this, you are not going to be able to lawyer up. Try to run out the clock on this and then fade into the night. In other words, this is something the country needs to know. And if you're in the Secret Service, you may have to realize that your right to get all these lawyers and delay this process is way out of bounds here. We need the information. We should have had it the day after, the week after, continued reports, not 60 days, not we can't get it, they're lawyered up. They all should be fired immediately. They should be brought into Congress and made to testify. If they won't, then they should go to jail. I mean, this is a clear thing. This isn't civilian life. You don't get to lawyer up here if that's what's going on. They go on to say, on July 13th, law enforcement personnel abandoned the rooftop of American Glass Research Building 6, the roof from which Thomas Crooks attempted to assassinate President Trump, because of hot weather. It's stunning. And you saw when they had in first the then head of the Secret Service, then maybe even worse, the acting head, this guy now, and they are arrogant with it. So who do they report to, really? Do they report to the president that they're protecting? The other thing, get the Secret Service out of all this other stuff of counterfeiting, yada, yada, yada. Get them out of that. Let's go back to the training, and if you can't make it, we're not going to look at DEI stuff. This is too serious. This, the second one is a lot worse to me than the first. They are completely incompetent, bordering on even conspiracy here would make them at least competent. I don't believe it's that. They're arrogant and incompetent. And this whistleblower report, the hot weather thing, here we go again. The problem is this should have been done a week after it was over while it was fresh in the minds of people. Now we're into a second one. They'll slow walk this. Now, you got to love Ron DeSantis on stuff like this. Florida is already, I hope Florida produces a report by Monday. Preliminary report. Then let them deny it. What stage is their report in? And the answer is unknowable. They're just going to do what they want. All right, big 1 o'clock hour. Story out there today talks about how many people, particularly people of color, says the headline, feel ashamed to have kids because of climate. This is one of the most ghastly things that progressives have started to do. So we'll get into that. Michael Watley will be here at 2:15 today, the head of the RNC. Well, Dr. Bentz, had a long conversation with Dr. Bentz people yesterday as we're, the point of their emphasis is, well, it's back to school time. We're still in September, but it's a time when we put aside, sadly, summertime and the living is easy. And we take a look at, oh, boy, we haven't been to the dentist in quite a while, right? It's a perfect time to get that fresh start and get unbelievable dental care like I get with my friend, prosthodontist, dentist extraordinaire, Dr. Robert Bentz. Best time to see him is right now. Get that initial evaluation. I can't emphasize that enough. And then you'll have a sense of a plan you'll develop with Dr. Bentz to make sure, like mine, that you don't have any big-time long-term problems. That's what you want to avoid. As soon as you think you're at risk of any kind of complications at all, that's a warning sign as you get older. Let Dr. Bentz take a look with you and figure out something that's going to prevent big problems down the line. I've told you about my most recent one, just how convenient, how caring and pain-free it was in getting a permanent tooth put back in. You'll get the same care with Dr. Bentz. Make that initial appointment, 610-272-6949. 610-272-6949.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. It's September already. Can you believe it? Kids are back in school. We're going to blink, and the holidays are going to be here, and you're going to be seeing family and friends and being in a lot of pictures. So if you're feeling self-conscious about your smile, now is the time to schedule your appointment with Dr. Mike Veneria. As you know, my entire family goes to Dr. Mike. His level of care and commitment to dental excellence is unmatched. So get that dental procedure done today, and you'll be one step closer to having that beautiful smile you deserve. Taking care of your teeth is so important to your overall health, and Dr. Mike and his staff makes it so easy to have that beautiful, healthy smile. He's been named a top dentist in New Jersey for 10 consecutive years. He's my dentist. He's respected among his peers as being a master of dental implants. So reach out to Dr. Mike today. With 2 locations to serve you in Cinnaminson or Woodbury, schedule your appointment or free implant consultation today for your perfect smile. Call 856-786-2020, 856-786-2020, or visit veneriadental.com, VANARIA, veneriadental.com.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Just 2 years ago, Bob Casey told us his vote for a $1 trillion spending spree would miraculously reduce inflation. Casey promised his vote will reduce inflation. Have you been to a grocery store lately? Did Casey reduce anything except his credibility? In fact, it was Bob Casey's vote for reckless spending that caused this inflation in the first place. Prices went up, and now you're paying more for almost everything. Casey admits he failed. Prices have skyrocketed. Just listen to Casey.
You have boneless chicken going up 38%, and paper products like toilet paper going up 35%.
Groceries cost more. Rent and housing cost more. Pennsylvania families are struggling. Casey promised to fix this mess. Instead, he made it worse. Bob Casey failed. We need a change to get back on track. It's time to change Washington. It's time to fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-688-6641. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. So today in Israel, or in Lebanon mainly, I think, handheld radios are being blown up. It's ingenious what they've done. Apparently, they've been able to place near the battery in the pagers that terrorists were using, and now somewhere similar in these handheld radios for the for Hezbollah, an explosive charge. And it has been deadly. It's believed double figures killed again, but others maimed by this. You would think after the chargers, after the pagers, yesterday. They might give up these devices, but they're exploding all across Lebanon. This is how Israel is so inventive, how they survive. They're sending a message again. Now, the other side is so fanatical that it doesn't seem to, but with some of their leadership and others, it calms things down. It puts them in a defensive mode. Now, tonight, I'm being honored by the Zionist of America. Going to be emceeing a big event they do every year over at the Hilton. And I'm going to be talking about October 7th is 1 year away. All right, just 1 year away. And just think of the reaction that we saw, including my alma mater. I went back and dug it out when we talked about it. These weasels over at LaSalle University caving in to some progressive students and or Muslim students and decrying on October 7th when they issued a statement the terrorism that was happening in Israel, but also in Gaza, claiming the Israeli government were terrorists in this. And this October 7th attack is among the most vicious things we've seen in human history. These were not outliers as happen in wars, raping women, doing ungodly things. This was their tactic. They were celebrated by significant numbers of Democrat elected officials, progressives, and of people that yesterday, the one question that they were pushing back on Kamala Harris, the black journalist, about was, you're not doing enough to go after Israel. It's essentially what it is. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of certain Jewish voters and donors and all that stuff that still are going to stick with the Democrats despite all this. You know, it's a long process to unwind this. But I want to commend what they've done today. More devices exploding across Lebanon. Now, our media is covering it, and they're talking essentially about how ghastly it is. Not so much people are blown up, but they're getting severe injuries because they may have it in their pocket, et cetera, right? Well, that is severe, but it's exactly what they deserve. Exactly what they deserve. And the bottom line is to try to stop Lebanon now, Hezbollah in Lebanon, to calm it down to some reasonable degree. It's impossible to beat them into the ground, although they've done a pretty good job with Hamas, as we're seeing play out. Still more to be done on that. That's a fact of life. I've been there. That's the way that it is. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all that you need to do is push pound 1210. Cut 14, Jim, will be coming up. I wanted to identify, if you didn't know this, what a progressive weasel Kevin Bacon is. You know, he's got the ties to Philadelphia and all that. We played Kevin Bacon when he did the preamble to the award, the Peabody Award, for this documentary on the great Larry Krasner. And he talked about how wonderful Krasner was, how he was taking apart institutions brick by brick. Listen to this diatribe from Kevin Bacon, essentially saying there are people out there still, fill in the blank, Republicans, Trump, conservatives, trying to suppress the vote. Has voting ever been easier? Has it ever been easier? What do we have to do? Come over and beg you, have you pick your finger up during a commercial break and hit something, and then we record it? Is that what we have to do? I don't even want to do that. So my stance has always been, I would never be out there, voters like this, people that we're talking about like this, putting on the pom-poms and saying somebody's suppressing them. That's not true. Same thing with Trump voters. You have people that go to Trump rallies, they contribute, go figure it out, they don't vote. That's the ones they're trying to reach when we tell you about mail-in balloting, et cetera. Why they don't vote, go figure. But here's Kevin Bacon He's got it figured. People are trying to suppress voters.
So when I was a kid growing up in Philly, I remember when my mom used to drag me along on voting day to the polling place in our neighborhood. And I was too young to leave out in the lobby, so she would bring me into the voting booth and close those heavy curtains behind us, and she was ticking off those little boxes with the metal levers, and I remember thinking, this is so cool. I was so kind of enamored with that process, partly because I thought to myself, well, when I'm a grown-up, this is one of those things that I'm going to get a chance to do, like driving a car, having a family, or getting my own place or whatever. Voting to me is kind of the most American and the most democratic thing that you can do. But, there are people out there that don't want Americans to vote. They don't want you to vote based on where you live or what they perceive your beliefs might be, or your age, or even the way you look, or the way you sound. And make no mistake, voter suppression, voter intimidation, these are fundamentally un-American things to do. So please don't wave my flag at me and tell me that you are a patriot if you want to keep your fellow Americans from exercising their right to vote. So here's what you do. Big election coming up. Look at the calendar, right? See what you're doing and make a plan. Get yourself an absentee ballot, go online, make sure you're registered. Come on, V-O-T-E. Be a grown-up.
All right, the great Kevin Bacon. Who's he talking about? Who's doing all that suppression, those intimidations? Who's doing that with people? Where are these people? What century is this guy in? And I thought he might say at the end, but in Philadelphia, I know your vote will be protected. The great Larry Krasner is on the case. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Side question today, looking for that all-time great, real or fictional, small town, since small towns are so much in the news. But Bacon, I don't know what he was doing. Sounded like he was running or he's coming back from running or something.
Yeah, he was like walking in the park during
he was.
this video or
Okay.
something.
Oh, man. But all this voter suppression, where are we? Are we back in the South in the 60s? Who's stopping people from voting? Where are they in America? Must be Trump related. Could it be that we want to make sure people are voting, are first of all citizens, that they're registered to vote, that they're not voting more than once? That sounds like voter suppression to me. Why can't we have voter ID? Then nobody will suppress anything, Kevin. Always with these phantoms out there, always with the same thing. This guy is one of the worst. Constant complaint. Somebody is suppressing the vote. You can vote by mail, early voting. You can walk over to the satellite office. Where is the voter suppression gone on? All right, 855-839-1210. You got a line. Coming up, I do want to get into this story out there today, particularly for young people of color, it says, being shamed if they have kids or want to have kids. This is one of the most despicable things from the climate thing. Now, last night, Sarah Huckabee Sanders was with President Trump in a town hall and talked about Kamala Harris not knowing humility because your kids teach you humility. I get it with Harris. I think it's a strange thing. But as a campaign tactic, this whole thing that she's childless, she made that decision, or there's an issue, I don't know which one it is. I don't think that's the ground to win hearts and minds on, to go down that path. I think there's a lot of other things right now that we're seeing that certainly are open. Let's go to Tom in South Philly. And Tom is in on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Tom, good afternoon.
There he is. You got it wrong as usual. You forgot to tell how Hezbollah knocked out the Unit 8200 last week. And then you forgot to say how the Houthis, who beat the United States Navy in the Red Sea and the Brits, sent a Mach 6.2 cruise missile 2,000 miles in 15 minutes.
Hey, Tom, why would you be, Tom, how about if we, I don't think it would take much to get you to get a plane ride and go enjoy the Houthis. Since you want to tout them trying to kill Americans, we could get you a ticket there. First class, Tom. We'll fly you out of the country. How do you like that?
Well, we're supplying 2,000-pound bombs. Putin's not even using 2,000-pound bombs in Ukraine, right? We're killing Palestinians. This is our up and coming. It's coming. You know, we haven't won a war in 79 years.
Tom, wait a minute. Stop saying we. You're not an American of any stripe that I recognize, Tom.
Sure, I am.
No,
you're
not.
Not a moron
no, you're
like
not.
You.
No,
you're self-hating. Like you
are self-hating. You are
no,
self-hating. Yes, you are. You're self-hating America. I don't know why you would even call and tell us about the Houthis killing us, Tom. Why would you do that?
Because we shouldn't be there.
Thank you, Tom, very much. 855-839-1210. Yeah, I do salute the Israelis in this. It took a lot. Who knows? The company, apparently it's in Hungary, that made these or did it along with them. And they're taking out terrorists. And the terrorists are too dopey after yesterday with the pagers to still be using, apparently, handheld radios. Why are they doing that? They thought they were escaping Israeli intelligence. Now, I've been there, unlike Tom. I've seen what it's like. I've seen, while I was there, rockets fired into the country. And this is forever. How many years have we seen of this? It is endless. Because you have these nations that are losers. They are. Israel has made the desert blossom. These other nations want one thing. They either want to kill Jews or they want to get them out of there. That's what they live for every day. And they will continue to not be able to prosper, to create a decent life. Some of them are oil rich, and they still can't make it. And they fight among each other because of something going back, apparently, to Mohammed, a distinction around that. You have that going on. So, yes, Israel is sending a message with this. They realize Hezbollah is mounting a campaign ready to attack another war here. And they know that our Democrat Party is like Tom. Not as blatant, but they stand with Hamas and the other side. That's where they are. And they want Israel to quit it now because they have the mob in their party going after them. Like Kamala Harris said this yesterday, the only questions that were pressed were that. She was even allowed to skate, even though she acknowledged it. The other area that I think Vice President Harris has to answer for, if there's another debate, are reparations. She clearly supports it, but she won't say it. She said it before, and she hasn't moved away from it. Yesterday, in talking about reparations by executive action, she resorted to talking about all the problems that are out there. Well, here is, this is cut 10, and I may stop it, Jim. Here's VP Harris yesterday when asked if she would support, as she has in the past, executive action on creating a committee to study reparations. Now, you know how dangerous this is. She knows that at least. You start to move, as she has in the past, toward reparations. That is one of the worst, as far as politically, where that's going to take you. Americans are not going to go for this nonsense. And that's all the black journalists wanted to talk about yesterday. Here's what they said.
What we need to do going forward. Look, first of all, we just need to speak truth about history, in spite of the fact that some people would try and erase history.
My computer just died right in the middle of that.
Right.
That's incredible.
This idea, this is the other narrative that's out there, that somehow or another we're trying to erase history. We don't like history. We don't acknowledge history. Constantly you hear this because, like Tom, we have people that want to propagate in the public schools a history of just running down America, a history that would make you believe America always has been a racist nation, and it's that way today. That's what they want taught. So Harris did not fully answer this, but she did say Congress, and she implied that executive action could help in this too. This is another area to draw out. Reparations. Americans do not support this. Here's a little bit more.
What we need to do going forward. Look, first of all, we just need to speak truth about history in spite of the fact that some people are trying to erase history and try and teach our children otherwise. We need to speak truth about the generational impact of our history in terms of the generational impact of slavery, the generational impact of redlining, of Jim Crow law. I could go on and on and on. These are facts that have had impact. And we need to speak truth about it. And we need to speak truth about it in a way that is about deriving solutions.
All right. So, again, leaving open the door from her position, what it was in the past. Yeah, reparations. Let's have this commission on it. Let's see the dollar value. You can't say that now because, again, I would tell you, based on polling, gut instinct, this is another tremendous loser. But for some reason, Vice President Harris is not backing away from all the transgender nonsense. And I don't believe in America that is a winning issue. I just don't. We see it all over the place. Trump people running ads on it now, but this has to be more face-to-face to break this stuff loose. And I realize how many of you think, well, you're never going to get a fair shot, Dom. Whatever network they're on, they're going to be against you. It's 3 against 1. And we've talked about things that Trump could have done in that past debate to kind of use that with David Muir and Lindsey Davis. And he chose not to or could not. The big item now for Trump and Vance, I think they ought to do a town hall, maybe Vance, in Springfield, Ohio. Do it with Fox. Don't do it with the others. I'm in agreement with that. Do it with talk radio. My God. And let's see what the people in Springfield, Ohio say in a town hall versus just the mayor and the manager trying to pretend that they have not been devastated by this invasion. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Hit us with that all-time small town. It could be real. It could be fictional. So much small town choice. Here's a good opportunity. We've been talking about it forever. Jump in right now on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Thanks, Rich Santaro, who said Mama's.
Yes, Mama's on Belmont. That thing had to weigh 12 pounds. Not me, the steak sandwich.
By the way, speaking of that talk, Thomas wrote us last night, and he said, can you please do something about the high schoolish attempt at humor on the morning show?
Oh.
I try to listen, but it's so much like Beavis and Butthead that I changed the channel. We'll stop. We'll get more.
Never me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Hey, if you're looking for riveting radio, Mark Levin will be up in about 12 hours.
Oh, boy. Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
This school year, get your child or grandchild the help they need to succeed. Special tutoring and custom instruction is available from METC, the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. Now's the time to call Kathy Ganna and help your child have an outstanding year. Call the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. For over 30 years, METC's tutoring studio, founded by educator Kathy Ganna, has helped people of all ages grow personally and academically. Call Kathy today at 215-493-4200. METC offers motivational SAT prep as well as academic skills and leadership training. Call 215-493-4200. Visit online at METC.com. Call METC's tutoring studio today at 215-493-4200 or email Kathy directly at info@METC.com. Remember, 1210 listeners receive a free 1-hour consultation. Take advantage of this opportunity to help your child get one-on-one help. Call 215-493-4200. That's 215-493-4200.
Jim Cipriotti at Retire Ready Financial Group doesn't need Google to know you're worried about retirement. Between inflation, rising taxes, and the uncertainty about Social Security, he understands. That's why he offers a complimentary retirement second opinion. It's a no-obligation meeting for you to talk about your concerns about retirement. You want to know if you're going to be okay? Let's find out. 610-894-7415 or go online, retirereadyfg.com.
Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, NPN number 2083768.
Is your car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My mechanic just suggested an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover repair bills if anything happens to the car. New brakes, transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait, you pay nothing on repairs? Ox gets it fixed? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance?
Yeah, you don't pay. Ox pays. Ox even has a 30-day money-back guarantee and is A+ rated on the BBB. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike those other warranty companies.
The last thing I need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-224-8517. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care. 800-224-8517. 800-224-8517. Or go to oxcarcare.com.
Family and Company Jewelers on Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey is known for being South Jersey's diamond destination and your trusted jeweler for quality, service, and price. Choose from the largest selection of engagement rings in the area or have their master jewelers create a one-of-a-kind ring just for your special day. Visit their showroom or shop online at familyjewelers.com.
Family and Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
Calling on Percy to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app.
Download it now.
All right, it is Dom time. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. I'll get into this climate change stuff and people not having kids, but reparations, you know how every time this comes up, how explosive it is. How many hurdles? Even Gavin Newsom has tried to tamp it down in California. So let's go to Blazing Jesse. Met him the other night in the Collingswood at the big Don Trump Jr. event. Jesse's in Huntington Valley on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Jesse, afternoon. Great to meet you and your mom.
Hey, Mr. Giordano, thank you so much, man. We had such a great time. And it was so great to hear Mr. Trump Jr. talk a little bit, man. I just wanted to thank you for that special event.
Well, thank you. And wasn't it amazing finally to meet people like Joe of Exton and these others?
And the incredibly tall Mr. Dan. Holy smokes,
oh,
man.
yeah. Well, he's not 6'8".
I'm a little bit vertically challenged myself,
I know.
So seeing him.
I know. He's only 6'7" and 9/10. Just keep that in mind. It helps.
Hey, I wanted to just mention, though, I don't know if you noticed across the street there was a party going on. They had a big, about 12-foot-long banner that said, Trump lost, LOL. I mean, I could think of a lot of things to be doing on a Friday night than to be spending $300 on a custom-printed sign.
Well, yeah.
And then, I pulled...
The protesters were clever, though, asking Dan and me how much we were paid in rubles. Nice touch.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had some fun with them, though. I did ask on my way out with my mom. We were getting a little bit hungry. We wanted to go check out one of the, famous New Jersey diners that we're known for. And I just decided, we're getting a little hungry. So I asked if they're growing up any cats over there. But they were being a little secretive over there. Anyway, I did want to check in and just say, I got some more time to kill now that I canceled my Sirius XM subscription due to Howard Stern.
Well,
and it's just crazy.
Yeah, good stuff. Jesse, do you have a small town that you would tell us? That's today's side question.
Yes, sir. You know what? To keep it in PA, I'm going to say New Hope, Pennsylvania. Besides the politics, very cool town. Cool
Absolutely.
Date night.
Thank you, Jesse. Blazing Jesse here on Talk Radio 1210. All right, so New Hope, we enter that. All this coming off, how much have we talked about small towns? Real or fictional? Cooperstown is one I'll enter in. That's real. And I still think that President Trump should go to Springfield, Ohio, hold a town hall there, or J.D. Vance, or both. It's a great thing to do. We're watching the Dow start to really climb up because the Fed at 2 o'clock today will report it. Finally, I think this goes back to 2020, the first time in 4 years they're going to cut the interest rate. So I wanted to ask, and this would be maybe younger listeners, people trying to get into that first house. It's onerous what's going on here. And the reason we've had this inflation, it was due, I believe without a doubt, the stuffed shirt historians and people that were in previous progressive administrations. They used to meet once a month. I don't know if they do anymore with Joe Biden. Get into his head, go big or go home. You got to be big, Joe. Maybe you only be one term. You want to be a consequential president. Go big. And the trillions and trillions of dollars spent, that just broke up everything. And you see the results. You see the diminished capacity of Americans. Yesterday, for example, I usually don't notice it. We had to get Freddie litter. So I got $1 off at the Acme that I was at. You know, it's a giant box, but still, it was $13.95. I got it for $12.95. And the cat food that he likes, they were on sale for 8 for $10. And that's a sale. But I can remember when the cat litter was around the $7.95 or so, the big box. Just think of what this maniac has done, and these historians pumping his head up, Biden, creating this inflation, what it's done to the average American. And again, Republicans have to dig in more. That's why I think another debate face-to-face with Harris, just call her out, call out the moderators. She's got nothing when it comes, and I want Americans to know tonight, it's not about the rate, it's about the baked-in inflation. It was 1.4 when I left office. It rose to over 9%, and that's all baked in. Americans, you may not like me. You know, he says this somewhat. But you know, in my administration, and he talked last night about what he would do to cut this baked-in inflation versus Harris. Again, those that just hate Trump, believe it's Hitler and democracy. The argument of Democrats is, you know what? You got to suck it up. If you have to pay, Dom, $13.95 for your cat's litter, well, then that's what you're going to do. Would you rather have Hitler and lower cat litter prices? Isn't that their argument, sort of? And then they wonder why we have people saying, well, we have another solution. We don't want to pay these prices, but we don't want Hitler either. So let's kill Hitler. All right, calling in candidate for Senate on the Republican side, Dave McCormick. We'll go to him momentarily here, I guess, on Talk Radio 1210. Yeah, we'll take it next if he's there. Because we were told yesterday, breaking news, that Charleroi, Pennsylvania, is going to hold this big national news conference with McCormick there, talking about the devastation that Haitian influx has made, not wild stuff, but stuff that we've documented. And what does Bob Casey Jr. have to say about that? I told you yesterday, we have people here locally on record. The guy out there in West Norriton, the woman over in Upper Marion, and maybe a Gestamar from Springfield Township, they all signed this big letter of intent saying, yeah, they want to have more refugees put into their towns. Do the people in the town know that? Would they sign off on that? We hope to talk with one of them tomorrow. Others have rejected us, of course. Why'd you sign off on this? Stand up and tell us why Upper Marion should bring in an influx of Haitians, Ukrainians, or God knows what. All right, 855-839-1210. You'll get on board. Let's talk about batteries plus bulbs in Mount Laurel and Northfield. My friend Roy is doing so well because people recognize what I've been telling you for years. These two stores have everything, every need that you could possibly get. Plus, they fix things. They fix things when it comes to tech. But the issue is now they're booming and they might need some help. They could use a handy do-it-yourselfer would be ideal. They'll help train you in some things. It's a great low-pressure part-time job. Customer service is key. If you're willing to do what it takes to help, you need to talk to Roy. Be part of the team, as he says all the time. They power it, they light it, and they fix it. I have told you stories of stuff that people have brought, that they brought back to life. I told you the photo story, the widow, the guy, and the Apple couldn't even do it. They did it to get the pictures that were there that were so precious to her. On and on it goes. It's worth a phone call. You're looking for something right now that might suit you? Give Roy a call, 856-638-0778, 856-638-0778. Batteries plus bulbs, 2 big stores, Route 73, Mount Laurel, and Northfield on Tilton Road.
Weather sponsored by iParkit.com. Parking made simple.
The forecast remains unsettled as a storm system lingers off the coast. Clouds today with some off and on showers. It'll be muggy with a high 74. Tonight, shower chances continue with a low 65. And for Thursday, partly to mostly cloudy, less humid with a high 78.
Download iParkit for the most convenient way to park at Love Park and throughout Center City. Whenever you're in Center City, iParkit is the easiest parking option for more than 12 parking garages and lots. New accounts get 20% off your first 5 uses when you use iParkit Express. Download iParkit and save.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
California Psychics is the real deal. They helped me out, totally changed my attitude, totally got me psyched to start my business and to take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us, so we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
The following is a paid commercial message.
I'm Kamala Harris. Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. And I believe we can make that happen.
Kamala Harris's plan? Bring down costs by cracking down on corporate price gougers. Make homeownership more affordable for families. A middle-class tax cut for 100 million Americans. And make sure billionaires and big corporations pay their fair share so you can keep more of the money you've earned.
Instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future and how we make it better for families like yours. I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
Tune in to Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Phil Cannella and Joanne Small. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we are having 2 fabulous back-to-school specials. The 2024 S60 front-wheel drive sedan and the exciting electric C40 each can be leased for 36 months for $369. Do-It Inception would be a down payment and taxes and registration fees, but in New Jersey, this C40 has no tax. The $369 is an incredible payment on each of these Cherry Hill Volvos. Visit Cherry Hill Volvo. Our team would be honored to partner with you.
If you're looking to furnish your home or replace your old furniture, your journey begins and ends at Bucks County Estate Traders. One piece of advice, make sure you have time when you come here. The 58,000 square foot showroom is a furniture wonderland. Quality high-end pieces with inventory changing daily. It's all here. Mid-century modern, traditional, vintage, antique, and name brands. They'll ship anywhere, or you can pick up in-store. Bucks County Estate Traders in Hatfield or at buckscountyestatetraders.com.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. Welcome in, everyone. So what's going on today in the House? Emotional testimony, big time. The mom of Rachel Morin testified. That's the young woman who I believe was raped and killed. Allegedly, because they haven't been convicted yet, but we know it's illegal immigration, the causal element here. And it gets tiresome, does it, when people say, well, you don't say that about all these others in Philadelphia or whatever. And the answer is we do have criminals. We do have things like that happening here. What's heartbreaking is, though, there's no way these people should have been here. They shouldn't have had the opportunity to do that. That's the bottom line. That's always the bottom line. So there's a lot of emotion because, of course, Democrats blame Republicans and say, well, we had the border bill, you didn't want to do it. And I will forever hold responsible in this, in addition to the media, these dope Republican rhinos in the Senate. Why actually try to come up with a bill with Democrats here at the 11th hour? I'll say what Trump and the others can't. We don't want a bill. We don't want it now. There has to be a political price that they pay for what they've done. They do this all the time. They go wild, inundating the country with millions more people running amok that are here illegally. Then at the 11th hour, they come up with some bill that would not be a fix for this, that they wouldn't follow anyhow, and they get these Republicans to show their bipartisanship, start to negotiate and sign off on it. So you can't blame progressives. You can't blame Harris and Biden. They're doing what they do. Blame these moronic, the Langford guy, for example, from Oklahoma. Just willing idiots. Of course we didn't want to have that bill. Of course we want the issue in this. I'll tell you bluntly, we want it. It is political. They got to pay a price for this because if reelected, what they'll do, they'll wait a brief period of time, and then they'll inundate us with this again. Of course, we don't want to do it now. Well, you guys aren't serious. You don't care about Morin dying. Of course we do. We know what to do. We don't need any complicated bill. Just do what Trump did. Keep them in Mexico. Put up the wall. Put more Border Patrol there. We know the basics. We don't need to be negotiating stuff. Why do Republicans do this? Because they're rhinos and dopes and think that somehow or another they'll get credit for us. It's the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to win. The right thing to do is not to be negotiating this. Oh, so you don't care about who's killed between that point and now? Of course we do. But the bottom line is, big picture, the only way to stop this is to make them pay for it, to beat them, and then go back to the policies that seriously work. That's what it's about. But every time these Republicans get lured into this, they want the glory of saying they're bipartisan. On this issue, there's no bipartisan anything. It's hand-to-hand combat with them. We know what they want. They want to flood the country with people coming in illegally. They did it, and they don't want to pay a price for it. All right, so hopefully tomorrow we're going to have on one of the signatories of this big letter I've told you about. We've asked others who are here locally to come on with being rejected, but they might have one. And the idea is that these people signing on to this, these local officials, say they want more of this influx of Haitians and other groups, refugees, in their town. You think there's any town around here that really would vote for that? If that were up here in November, should we bring in, like we've seen in Springfield or we've seen in Charleroi, these refugees? You think Doylestown, who I always think of as one of the capitals of this politically correct, would Doylestown vote to bring in 2 to 5 to 10,000 Haitians? You think Doylestown really would? No, they wouldn't. They wanted to go into some other communities who don't have the clout to do anything like about this. Would Lower Merion do it? I don't think so. Why do these communities have to suffer? Why is Rachel Morin dead? The mother testifying today. Riley, why is she dead? Lakin. Trump missed an opportunity to bring that up in the debate, call out the vice president and say, I'm sure you agree with me. She would have pivoted to the border thing. Now, then Trump would have to explain what I just explained. All due to these Republicans who stupidly gave them an out. They gave them the ability to say, we had the bill, even though it's a bad bill. Trump told you not to do it, and you didn't do it. All right, let's go to Jerry in Wilmington. Jerry is waiting, and he's on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Jerry, afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Don. Good seeing you Thursday night.
Yeah,
Enjoyed
same
the
here,
show.
Jerry. Thank you.
Yes. Hey, as far as a small town, once a year, this 5,000 people town is the center of the country. It's in February, and that would be Puxatawny, where they made the movie Groundhog Day. So I'm going to go with Puxatawny, where they made the movie Groundhog Day. I'm going to go with Puxatawny, where they made the movie Groundhog Day. I'm going to go with Puxatawny, where they made the movie Groundhog Day. So
thank you, Bill
that's my
Murray.
town.
I got the point. Thank you very much. Yeah, that film has even been studied with religious significance. Not sure it's that great, but that was an entertaining call. It's all in the call.
That's
Yes.
what we want.
That's
what we want to
all
hear.
in the call. Punxsutawney. Yeah, Phil. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Jump in. Why would Republicans do it? I told you why they did it. And they opened up the out for them. What would they be saying at the border? They would just continue to lie, of course, and say those numbers are not. But I mean, you can push back on that more. Now it's a harder pushback. You got to go into the minutia of this bill because these Republicans, how do they get elected to anything? I guess the guy in Oklahoma feels, he's never not going to be reelected. It's conservative there or something. He wants to be bipartisan. So let's all negotiate all this minutia with people who we know what they want. They want to flood the country, and they've done it. Now they have to take a respite, then win, and then continue to do it. You really think the nonsense you put in this bill is going to stop them from doing that, really? 855-839-1210. That's how you get in on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
I don't know if you guys agree with this, but if I'm Trump, I'm no longer taking phone calls from Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. My iPhone rings. You see the little accept or decline button? Decline. I did the photo op with you on 9/11 after the stage debate on ABC. Kamala will be right back on the wagon today, I'm sure, and you're going to hear the same old rhetoric. Not about her opportunity economy and the specifics of what that entails, but just the general entry-level stupid verbiage.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
40 days up to 40 pounds. Say it with me. 40 days up to 40 pounds. Visit njdiet.com or call 855-5NJ-DIET. That's 855-5NJ-DIET. 40 days up to 40 pounds. 40 days up to 40 pounds.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
Don't miss the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause, brought to you by Advocacy United at a special time. This Saturday, September 21st at noon. Find out the latest about important issues affecting you. The Labor and Energy Show, Saturday at noon on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
And so many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Keep free speech alive. Follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Dom Giordano's show. This just in from Dom's Wide World of Sports. The PIAA, which is a crazy organization many times, has done something good, but I think there's a broader point to it that I'll ask Riley Gaines about tomorrow. They have just sanctioned girls flag football as a sport. They've sanctioned girls flag football as a sport. I don't think there's male, to the best of my knowledge, flag football. Whoa, wait a minute then. The men are playing tackle. You're stopping opportunity from girls. The Philadelphia Eagles and Steelers were behind this. I think it's over 100 schools already have a girls flag football team. You know where I'm going with this, what it indicates. It indicates, aren't they? I'm surprised. Everybody seems to be on board. I'm on board with this. Any sport that females want to participate in, I think that's a good thing. All right, Henry, you're at our sports desk. What do you think?
Oh, I think this is great.
Yeah.
It's an awesome opportunity.
But what does it tell us, though, that they're going down this path, if anything?
I just think they're opening up a path for women to play some football. I don't know. Is there that big of a – I mean,
sure.
Do girls really want to play football? Every time a girl plays football, it seems like they're always the kicker. So I feel like this is just a good gateway, get everything going. If you want to put on some pads, I don't think anyone's going to stop you.
No, but I think it indicates where the interest is, and it's not engineering something. This is organic. It's grassroots. That's the word. That's the point. And it's indicative that there's enough people that it's this widespread. There's over 100 schools at least that have a sanction girls flag football. I don't know how many players at one time or another, but it indicates there's widespread that young women want to play football, be involved in a sport, but not tackle football.
Yeah. No, I mean, every year it seems like every high school has a great, like, powder puff flag football thing.
Right.
And it's always a great turnout, and so it makes sense that, hey, we could probably play this statewide.
Yeah. Well, the Eagles were behind it. It was a campaign. They put a lot of effort and money into it to get them to sanction this because this is a backward group, this PIAA. They do a lot of stuff I don't agree with over the years.
Aren't all governing bodies?
Well, no, they are very much so. They are really, I guess every state, I'd have to see it. But, well, Jersey, you can say you're gender fluid that day and compete as a male against females. Then the next day you're not. You don't have to take any action. You just say it, and you play against females. So are we going to see males embarrass themselves and be out there playing flag football? And I guess they still could hurt someone, but it's more remote to really hurt someone in this, certainly, versus if they had female tackle football. Yeah. So, again, it's another opportunity. And if they feel after doing this they want to play the other, knock yourself out. But again, this I know it seems glacial. I think it took 3 years. The Eagles were going to set a 5-year goal to push them to do this. And I'd love to get your reaction. In the world of female sports, Riley Gaines will have on tomorrow. This is what female sports to me is supposed to be about. Opportunity and not engineering the type of stuff that we often see by a bunch of people who want to tell us the sexes are exactly the same, or even more, what are you talking about, the two sexes? There's a million different sexes, a million different things. I'm looking to see the reaction, and Henry, your reaction will not be the only reaction. There will be people saying, well, isn't it a shame? Why are we having girls play flag football? Why are they not given the full opportunity to be out there? You know?
Yeah.
And how many times we have to be through it? You're right. And even with the kicking thing, it's often just almost a parody, I think. Carly Lloyd, they were going to try out as a kicker. She said, you know what? I'm a great soccer player, but I can't kick with these NFL guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's,
occasionally you got a really good leg, you have a really good kicker. I mean, that's all that matters at the end of the day. But I mean, how many people really want to be the kicker? How many people aspire to be the kicker?
If the NFL thought there was a female out in America that would give them a 0.1% better field goal percentage under the gun, they would be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. They have a criminal record. Who cares? You know?
Come on,
I'll take that back. 1,000th of 1%.
They will put Taylor Swift out there if they thought it would work. They will put her out there.
All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Love to get your reaction today. I bet we have listeners whose girl, their daughter, their granddaughter, whatever, are probably playing this. Other than pickleball, will the PIAA get involved with pickleball at some point? We'll see. It's more of a senior sport, but Philadelphia Eagles behind this, and I think it's an indicator of something correct. The mayor of Chicago has moved to cancel Shot Spotter. This is the thing that goes, look, I'm against the cameras, but when there is a shot that goes off, it tells you where that shot is coming from. And in Chicago, well, you're right. I mean, the police just patrol around. Just wait a nanosecond, another shot will be coming from somewhere. How does Chicago even function a little bit? My God, just watching this. They voted for this guy. All right, we have Michael Watley, RNC, with some news coming up at 2:15. Dom's Money Melody. We'll take your calls on the side question. All-time great small town. That's what we are looking for. NFL Week 3 is here, and you can start the season with a big return on FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook, new to FanDuel. Well, you'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place that first $5 bet. You can build a quick same-game parlay for Thursday night's football game, Patriots versus Jets. How about Breece Hall over rushing yards? You got to take Aaron Rodgers. He looked decent the last game, over passing yards. And an anytime score, meaning they'll score, you're saying they'll score in this game. You can do that. All you have to do is visit FanDuel.com/Dom. Don't forget Henry's tip the other night. I know it's kind of sour with Barkley dropping the key pass, but he did get 21 receiving yards. 18.5 was all you had to get. That was a layup. That was like found money. So just visit FanDuel.com/Dom to make every moment more this season. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's that time of year again to consider replacing your old drafty windows and doors before another long, cold winter season rolls in. And my good friends at Guida Door and Window will help make your window and door replacement project more affordable with their buy one, get one half off sale. For every door and window you buy, you'll get the second one at 50% off. And you can mix and match these savings to suit your own needs. Buy an entry door, get half off a storm door. Buy a patio door, get 50% off a window. Need to replace all the windows and doors in your house? Then you'll save 50% on half your project. The more you need, the more you save. Plus, Guida is making it easier to afford your project with no money down and interest-free financing for up to 18 months. Act now. This offer is for a limited time only. Restrictions apply. For full details, call Guida today to schedule a free, no-obligation in-home estimate at 877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's go, G-U-I-D-A.com.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Jack Daniels and Coca-Cola tailgating and watching the birds. It doesn't get any better. So stop by your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirits store and save $1 on cases of Jack and Coke and Jack and Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, along with Jack Honey and Lemonade, Jack and Ginger Ale, and Jack and Tennessee Apple Fizz. All ready to drink in a can. Jack and Coke, born for the tailgate. Please drink responsibly.
Whiskey Specialty, 7% ABV. Jack Daniels Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels Little Number 7, a registered trademarks of Jack Daniels Properties, Inc. Coca-Cola is a trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we are having two fabulous back-to-school specials. The 2024 S60 front-wheel drive sedan and the exciting electric C40. Each can be leased for 36 months for $369. Do-it inception would be a down payment and taxes and registration fees. But in New Jersey, this C40 has no tax. The $369 is an incredible payment on each of these Cherry Hill Volvos. Visit Cherry Hill Volvo. Our team would be honored to partner with you.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile. And you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
Okay, big 2 o'clock hour. We got the side question going, a great one today. All-time small town, real or fictional? There's one on the boards I was going to take off, but I let go. It is a great answer. We'll have that. Michael Watley, head of the RNC, co-chair of the RNC, with us with an update on the Trump campaign and also what they're doing in Pennsylvania. But I just read this, Henry and everyone else. In New Jersey, this just tells you how far the government goes. In New Jersey, approved girls football is a pilot. It's eligible to become an official sport in December 2025. Currently, it's still classified as a non-strenuous sport. So girls can compete in flag football and also in lacrosse or softball in the spring. if and when the sport is officially approved, girls will have to choose. Just think of these maniacs. In other words, when I was in high school, you had the two-sport athlete. They're saying in Jersey, apparently, and not just with girls. I don't think they would do that it's not sexual identity or whatever. I think boys, too. If they are official sports, apparently, then you can't do two of them. That's too strenuous. I'm reading it again. The Philadelphia Inquirer says, it is currently classified as a non-strenuous sport. If and when the sport is officially approved, girls will have to choose between playing flag football and then in the spring playing something like softball or lacrosse. Now picture these idiots, the progressives involved in this stuff. So that means I play flag football, and then in the spring, I want to play softball. Really? It's that taxing that you can't do that?
I mean, that'll make their numbers take a hit easy. Because it's a fall sport, I assume?
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
So playing soccer at that time?
Right.
Yeah, you're not. I don't think you're going to draw the people away from that. I'm sorry.
Well, also, it's more of this calculation. Just think of the micromanaging, not allowing the family and the girl or boy, apparently this is. If you can look it up and see if that applies to, I think it applies to males too. Otherwise, they'd be completely sexist. I need a coach or parents out there. In what universe can you suddenly not play one sport in the fall and then one sport in the spring? Why? Inquirer says it's a non-strenuous sport at this point. It's not an official sport. It's like an exhibition or something. But when it becomes a recognized sport in New Jersey, then you cannot compete in flag football and then lacrosse or softball in the spring. You'll have to choose. It's too strenuous. Just think of it every level of our lives. Anybody defend that? You're moronic. You don't belong in sports. There used to be people that played. Now, playing 3 sports during a year might be fairly difficult. But what we've done with youth sports, this kind of gets to that too, is we've taken away a lot of the rough and tumble of it. You know, we've taken away just the ability to get enjoyment out of sports. I'm reading right from it. I think they're right. You got to choose. You're going to play flag football in the spring, and then in the fall, and then in the spring, you can't play another sport. At least the sports that I mentioned. All right, the Dow is jumping. It's on fire. It's up about 47 to 50%. Why? The Federal Reserve has cut rates for the first time in 4 years. I'm looking to see, Henry, if you happen to see this, I'm looking too. Did they cut it by a quarter point or a half point? Let's see. The only point I'll make too is why did they not cut rates a few months ago? Why do it 46 days before the election? Well, that's one of the motivating factors to do it now because they want to help Kamala Harris. They want to show some stimulation to the economy. This is just like the border thing. In other words, after they broke it, it's a half point. Wow. All right, somebody out there can explain the difference. And the half point was not expected. They cut the interest rates by a half point. It was expected they would do a quarter, but not about a half. And again, I'm seeing the jump right now. I almost have a hotline to my own 401k plan here. I'm watching it instantly. We may have to take a break here. Cut it by a half a point. I think it's the right thing to do, but the question is, why now? Will this juice the economy? Because that's all important, and President Trump was talking about the economy on top of inflation, not that good. Now, this still doesn't take away the curse of inflation that's there. But maybe it offers people listening now and others the opportunity to get into a first-time home. I'm already seeing, how Democrats are going to play this. What Harris will do is she'll talk about this now because of the wonderful news of the economy. That's how she'll pitch it. And then run out the clock some more. It's all about running out those days so that America doesn't see her as we do. These undecided voters in the 6 swing states. So the Dow has jumped about 208 points. It'll probably jump a full percentage point. This is where, if I weren't doing this, you could put me in charge of something else. The U.S. Secret Service has postponed its release of a report on the Trump shooting. We may hear something, but not today, not tomorrow. The full report that's out there. They postponed it. They ought to be dragged in before the House and told, you're not postponing anything. Tell us what the report is. How many days out? Who remembers the first shooting now? They're trying to rush us past the second shooting. This is the tactic. This organization has to be stopped. They're not about protecting Trump. They're about running out the clock, making excuses for what they have become, a joke. They are a joke. And I'm not even going to put, Dom, come on, the brave men. We all know that. I'm talking about what really matters here, which is protection of Trump's life. All right, Michael Watley's in the on-deck circle, the head of the RNC. I'll ask him about both of these and what's going on in Pennsylvania. And we'll continue to watch. A full half point is a big deal. And then we'll have Dom's Money Melody. We got the side question going on. Here's how you get in. 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210.
Hi, this is Carson Daly, inviting you to be part of Odyssey's mental health initiative, I'm Listening. As a dedicated mental health advocate, it is my great honor to again be hosting this awesome 2-hour special, along with Dr. Alfie and Katie Neal, as we engage in this very meaningful conversation. Connect with us right here for I'm Listening.
Next Wednesday, September 25th at 7 p.m. here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
For more expert appliance shopping advice, here's National Appliance Warehouse's own appliance guru.
Hello, let's talk premium. These are the top-of-the-line appliances that dream kitchens are made of. If you're planning an investment like this in your home, where you buy is as important as what you buy. At National Appliance Warehouse, we're committed to delivering the superior buying experience you deserve. Our showroom features beautifully displayed premium appliances of every major brand, including highly sought-after Sub-Zero, Wolf, and Cove. Our team of gurus is well-versed at guiding you as you navigate the same appliances you'd find in the most magnificent homes and kitchens of cooking enthusiasts. And the National Appliance Warehouse team has the expertise to properly deliver and install your stunning new appliances.
Fall into incredible savings now at National Appliance Warehouse. Purchase a qualifying Sub-Zero, Wolf, and Cove appliance package and choose 3 years of additional warranty or a rebate up to $2,500. Click nationalappliancewarehouse.com or visit their showroom in tax-free Wilmington today.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Just 2 years ago, Bob Casey told us his vote for $1 trillion spending spree would miraculously reduce inflation. Casey promised his vote will reduce inflation. Have you been to a grocery store lately? Did Casey reduce anything except his credibility? In fact, it was Bob Casey's vote for reckless spending that caused this inflation in the first place. Prices went up, and now you're paying more for almost everything. Casey admits he failed. Prices have skyrocketed. Just listen to Casey.
You have boneless chicken going up 38% and paper products like toilet paper going up 35%.
Groceries cost more. Rent and housing costs more. Pennsylvania families are struggling. Casey promised to fix this mess. Instead, he made it worse. Bob Casey failed. We need a change to get back on track. It's time to change Washington. It's time to fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
Are you looking for a place to call home? Say hello to hassle-free home loans with American Heritage Credit Union. Our team will guide you through every step from pre-approval to closing. And with the MyCU Home Connection program through American Heritage, you can unlock exclusive benefits, including a $500 lender credit, cash rewards, and discount when you buy or sell a home. Visit AmericanHeritageCU.org/home connection to learn more. Insured by NCUA. Not a member? Join today. NMLS 433838.
Weather can be unpredictable nowadays, but your local news station on the free Odyssey app has got you covered. Whether you need an umbrella, windbreaker, or an extra layer, or two, we'll let you know. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station to listen on your smartphone or ask your smart speaker to play it before you head out the door. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station. That's AUDACY.
Whatever you do, don't miss this. Don't miss this. Listen to Kale and Company tomorrow morning at 8:30 for a special announcement from Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, we'll hear momentarily from Mr. Whatley, Michael Whatley, the head of the RNC. Two breaking stories here. One, they cut the interest rate by a half point, not a quarter. And in economic terms, that's big. Why do all that now? I'm sure Whatley will tell us what they think, the Republicans think. And also, the U.S. Secret Service says they're not ready to release their report. You know, there's got to be, I've said this all this week, there's got to be some action, some governmental body that can jump into the arrogance and ineffectiveness of this group and deal with them. All right, let me take a quick call here. Hit us with that all-time small town. Let's go to Alan in Hamilton on Talk Radio 1210. Hello, Alan. What's your small town?
St. Albans, Vermont.
Okay, why?
Because that was the northernmost battle of the Civil War.
Okay.
A group of escaped prisoners from Pattsville, and he got the okay from the government ahead of him, and he robbed 3 banks, and planning to do more, but then the war ended.
All right, thanks, Alan. All right, we'll put that on the list. That's what we're looking for today in honor of the fact we've been talking about small towns big time here, like Springfield, Ohio, and, of course, Charleroi certainly is in the news. Let's try Robert in Bensalem. Hello, Robert. Now, you are a dollar guy here. What do you think of this full half point? How big is that?
That is good to get the economy going again if it was under normal circumstances. It's not going to hurt. It's a good thing economically. But you're right about the timing, and it's not going to have the effect until it wouldn't have the effect that it would have if our dollar amount matched our GDP, which it doesn't right now. If everything was copacetic, that would be massive, that half a point.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's just for political cover. But Trump nailed it. We had the monetary inflation by them printing up $4.8 trillion and spending it, and that was a big problem. But that was made worse by the market inflation, like their attack on fossil fuels. He opens up them spigots, that handles the market inflation in one fell swoop. But we deal with this inflation until our GDP reaches about $34 trillion, and it's almost $31 trillion now. So 2 or 3 years, this inflation should be a thing of the past. But only if he does what he says he's going to do, which is great. Open up them spigots. That'll get the ball rolling. The optimism will improve immediately.
I agree. And the alternative on the other side is, my God, how bad it'll be, or my God, it'll be even worse than that.
Well, it could be. This might actually make it worse if it causes an increase in borrowing at a time when the dollars still haven't been absorbed by the economy. But that gets off into the weeds. I don't want to do that, but it's. I'm sorry, but my small town.
Yeah, small town.
With all the craziness going on, I'm going with funny, Dom, and I'm going to go with South Park, Colorado.
That's a good
one. You
one.
guys have a great tale, right?
Thank you, Robert. That is a very good one. So, two breaking stories here. One, why now? Is it a belated attempt or is it economically sound? Half a point is a big difference versus a quarter. And you're going to see that reaction. It will allow Harris several news cycles to just throw this out there versus answering, what are you really going to do about inflation, as Trump did last night in Michigan. The other is this situation around the Secret Service saying, no, we're postponing releasing this report. Let's go to the RNC chairman, Michael Whatley. It's a great moment to have him with us here. Chairman, it's always good to have you, but two big breaking stories right now, just in the last few minutes.
Hey, Dom, it's good to be on with you as well.
All right, so we have the U.S. Secret Service, and we know the whole thing about the men and women protecting the president, throwing their body in the line of fire. But the leadership, the whole mechanism of this, what happened in Florida, again, they are saying now they're not going to release that report, and they'll release it pretty much when they're good and ready.
Yeah, look, I think from our perspective, the president is extraordinarily grateful for the actions of the Secret Service agents that are with him, that have protected him both in Pennsylvania and in Florida. Look, they're going to go through their internal gyrations. They're going to have their investigations, internal as well as the congressional. We're going to let that go where it needs to go. But I think that the key on this is that in Pennsylvania, it's very clear, right? Catastrophic failure in terms of protecting the president. There is absolutely no excuse ever that guy should have been there. In Florida, they're very lucky that agent was there. They had a very good process for it, that they were able to stay, a couple holes ahead of him and do the protective sweeps that they did, and that they found this guy, so I think, again, all credit to those agents that are on the ground. But, from the overall perspective of the Secret Service, they need the resources to be able to protect the president. And this is not about, comparing the service protection that Kamala Harris is getting or Joe Biden is getting to the president. They need to protect everybody. What we have seen over the last, 60 days are two attempts on the president's life. I think, frankly, a conversation on the rhetoric that the Democrats have been using to try and gin up this hatred for Donald Trump, to talk about the need to eliminate him. We actually had, one of the ladies in Congress say that he needed to be shot. We had another congressman say that he needs to be eliminated. This is rhetoric that is superheated right now and is really needs to tone down.
Exactly. The other breaking story is the long-awaited 4 years the Fed has acted. Instead of a quarter point, a half point. Do you see anything political in this, or is this the right move?
Look, I'm going to let the economists talk about the moves, and I'm going to defer to them. But what I can say is, certainly you have an action that could, get the economy rolling again. And I think that I don't want that to take away from the fact that Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote on $2.5 trillion worth of inflationary spending, which unleashed higher gas prices, grocery prices, and housing prices. And if the Fed is going to come in and save the day here with, lower interest rates, the fact is those interest rates are still substantially higher than they were when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris took office. And those interest rates had to go up solely because of the inflationary spending. So, this entire loop is the fault of Kamala Harris for casting those tie-breaking votes, and the fact that every single American thing, it costs twice as much today to buy the same house as it did 4 years ago. The same house. And that's because these interest rates went through the roof because of the inflationary spending that Kamala Harris has unleashed on the country.
We're talking with RNC co-chairman Michael Whatley. Chairman, another victory here, a big one. When you get the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, which was a rogue court in my view in 2020, to say no, the legislature has the power here to tell you what you have to do with your mail-in ballot, superseding maybe an even more out of control Commonwealth Court. That's a good victory, and it across the board has to bleed into the idea of some degree of integrity in the system this time around.
We could not agree more. I think it's really important when the state law says that the ballot has to be dated, and it has to be dated by a certain date, and it needs to be in by a certain date. That's what the law means, and that's what the legislature meant. And I'm very glad that the court has upheld that particular provision. What we're seeing in Pennsylvania, we're seeing all across the country, is a lot more attention is being paid to election integrity. And I think that, I'm pretty proud of the fact that we have set up the first ever national election integrity program, and that we're getting these wins in courts. And it's basically a recognition of rules are rules, and obviously every state is allowed to pass its own rules. Some states have 17 days of early voting. Some states have 10. Some states, Virginia has 45 days, right? We're happy and content with the states that are passing those rules. What we don't want is for, boards of elections or secretaries of state to ignore those rules when it helps one party over another. And we don't want courts to throw those rules out willy-nilly just because they've got, Democrat activists that are coming to them and saying it's not fair. If it's not fair, go back to the legislature and try and change the law. And we're seeing, I think, a lot more strict adherence to the rules this time around, and I'm very happy about that.
You may not know these guys because you're doing this national thing, but you really have drilled down on Pennsylvania. But I had on Kevin Kelly the other day and Joe DeFelice, who formerly worked with the Trump people, are both helping with election integrity in Philadelphia. In my estimation, you can't find two better people who are savvy about what we face here in Philadelphia. And it speaks well that the Trump campaign is making an all-out effort on that issue, and that's what you're known for.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I think you just mentioned two of the best, and Ms. Kearns that we have over there in Philadelphia is another absolutely fantastic one. And I will give a lot of credit to Lawrence Tavis, the chair of the Pennsylvania GOP, because this is something that he has cared about for decades, and he has been on the ground fighting in these vineyards before. And I'll just tell you, when I came in as the chair and we were putting this program together, I told my team, I don't want any training wheels. I want the best. Go hire the best. Tell them, bring them to me, put them in front of me, and we'll bring them on board. And I really do want a very professional team in every battleground state. Look, Pennsylvania, it's the eye of the hurricane. It's the number one most important state in the entire country. And the area around Philadelphia and the collar counties is going to be so tremendously important, not just for how the election goes in Pennsylvania, but what happens nationally. And we want to make sure that we get it right. So, yeah, we are very proud of the team that we've got on the ground and really excited about what we're seeing right now with the enthusiasm that we're getting and the number of people that we're getting to go to, protectthevote.com and sign up and be part of our election integrity team.
Well, look, I can vouch for that. All my experience here forever in Philadelphia, these guys are as good as it gets, and it speaks of what you're doing. They get Philadelphia. They've been through it, and Kearns is as good of a lawyer as you're going to find. So the best website to go to, Chairman, again, is what?
Protectthevote.com, and you can sign up. There's a tab on there for lawyers. And they can sign up because we certainly are going to need to have lots of attorneys that are going to be on the ground. The key is get the rules of the road right before voting starts, and we're working on that today. And then make sure that you're in the room whenever a vote is counted or a vote is cast. We're very excited about the numbers and the enthusiasm that we've seen in Pennsylvania, but we need more, and we're going to continue to work very hard to recruit and train as many volunteers as we can.
Great work, Chairman. Anytime. Thank you. Thanks for calling in today.
Dom, thanks so much. Really appreciate you and your listeners.
All right, there's RNC co-chair Michael Watley. And when we had Kevin on the other day, who's a friend, and Joe DeFelice, he said, oh, yeah, it won't just be lawyers. We have the requisite no-neck guys. You can have enough lawyers, maybe not, but you can never have enough no-neck guys. Always, now, if you have a no-neck guy who's a lawyer, that's the guy that I'm hiring, a 5'10" guy, but in pretty good shape, like 200 pounds with no neck, and a brilliant lawyer. That's what you need in Philadelphia. Or Linda Kearns. All right, so 855-839-1210. You get in right now. Special time today. It is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Has all the money gone?
All right, we are playing today for a copy of Letters to Trump, this fascinating book of what it was like when Trump was the toast of the world with all these celebrities. It's hilarious, too, parts of it. Then he ran for president, and you know how they came after him. Henry, what's the backstory?
Yeah, so I'm going to keep it nice and simple today. War Pigs by Black Sabbath, released on this day in 1970. That's 54 years. That's kind of crazy to think about. I don't know about you. I think that's wild. Anyway, I want the name of the artist who covered that very famous song.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Let's hear it. All right, hit us with that. Who's covering that song? You got the coffee table book that you'll really enjoy. 855-839-1210. You get on board, hit us with that. Give me a reaction to, look, the half a percentage point is huge news. And the fact that this Secret Service, they got to be dragged in then. We need to report. We need it today. They've had, I'll count the days up again. It is ridiculous. One of these is bleeding into the other. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board with Dom. Hey, how are your cholesterol levels? Managing healthy cholesterol is the key to a strong heart and overall wellness. For over 38 years, Rescue Natural Supplements has been a trusted ally in helping people reach their cholesterol goals. I've counted on Rescue, I've told you, for years, and with good reason. Their range of supplements is designed to meet your specific needs, from omega-3s to red yeast rice and more. Take charge of your heart health today. Use the code DROP at checkout to double your order on any cholesterol product for free. Call today at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a knowledgeable product consultant, or use the code online when you visit res-q.com, res-q.com. Remember to use the code DROP. Buy one, get one free on Rescue Cholesterol products. Double up your cholesterol support today. It's easy. Just use that code DROP at res-q.com.
This is a commercial for California Psychics, America's most trusted psychic network. So, if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. No, really, this is it. You won't see your soulmate's face in the clouds or your career path mapped out in your cappuccino foam. This really is it. We could add some dramatic sound effects if you'd like. So what you waiting for? Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
You're in hot water, mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Learn about Navient's high-efficiency tankless water heaters, endless hot water, all while helping you save on your energy costs.
Hey, look at this. Our utility bill is lower since we got the Navien tankless water heater.
Who's in hot water now?
We are, all the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC. Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-224-8517. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now, 800-224-8517.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-224-8517. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-224-8517, or go to oxcarcare.com.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we are having two fabulous back-to-school specials. The 2024 S60 front-wheel drive sedan and the exciting electric C40. Each can be leased for 36 months for $369. Due at inception would be a down payment and taxes and registration fees. But in New Jersey, the C40 has no tax. The $369 is an incredible payment on each of these Cherry Hill Volvos. Visit Cherry Hill Volvo. Our team would be honored to partner with you.
Don't miss the Education Show with Dom Giordano every Sunday morning at 5:30. Find out how you can help your child or grandchild succeed. Sponsored by New Hope Academy.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
All right, every day at around 2:13 today, because special guests a little bit later hit us with sometimes it's a cover song, sometimes it's a foreign language. Here's the clue. Who is it that is performing this cover song? All right, let's go to Lou in Cherry Hill. Hey, Lou, good afternoon. Who's doing the cover song here?
Hey, Dom, how you doing? This is actually Bobby B, but is that the Jack Black version?
All right, Bobby, it is not, but thank you. Thanks. Good to hear from you. Stephen Langhorne. All right, Steve, who's doing the cover song?
I think it's a band called Paranoid.
No, don't be paranoid. That'd be a good band name, Paranoid. Michael in Abington. Michael, who's doing the cover?
Hey, Dom. T-Pain?
All right. Nicely played, Michael. Enjoy the Trump Coffee Table book. I thought that would be even harder today. We'll do it again tomorrow with Henry at the controls around 2:13. All right, so we've had two big stories continue to come down. One, the Fed went big here, and part of me says, okay, good thing, finally digging out of this Biden mess. It will help investment. It will help the economy. It will help people trying to get into their first home, those kinds of things. It's been awful, the first time in 4 years. The bigger story in some ways, but now this is huge break. It has big economic impact. The markets are going up and down. But the Secret Service, we're not ready yet with our report. This is what we're seeing here with the FBI, the Secret Service, any number of these agencies is defiance around this. They got to be told, you're giving us what you have right now. Sit down over there, type it up. All right? What is Congress, what are people going to do when we've had now by the way, I just saw this on Fox, Teamsters Research phone poll. Henry, if you could see anything online on this, I'm just going from Fox here. September 9th through the 15th indicates 58% supporting Trump to only 31% supporting Harris. Now, the Teamsters, apparently, the word is, are going to announce their endorsement today. All right, only 31% support Harris. Could they possibly endorse Trump? And I know a lot of you, it's like the 11th commandment. You want to tell us all the time, you want to show off that endorsements don't matter. Look, endorsements don't matter to be definitive, but endorsements do matter. They move the needle here and there. And I have to say that Trump, this is indicative of the fact that Trump is not Mitt Romney. You know what I mean? He's not a guy in a top hat that wouldn't know a union guy because of the building, because of how he made his money. If the Teamsters endorse him, that just shows you the real antagonism toward Harris and that part of the Democrat Party. And it shows you that Trump is giving Republicans a new way to be competitive, that the Republican Party, despite the efforts of the Cheneys and some of these people, really is the party of so-called working people in America, across racial lines even. That would be huge, even if they didn't endorse anyone. That's still going to play out in the news cycle. So don't tell me about endorsements that they don't matter. This is a group that is, because of Jimmy Hoffa, because of all that's going on in labor circles, it is something that pops. The Teamsters, you know that. What does it tell us about Harris? Well, what it tells me about the Teamsters president and leadership there, they might actually be legitimately listening for once to their rank and file. Now, will we ever see that in Philadelphia? No, unlikely. They don't. They cover it up. They bludgeon people. You know that. But this is a pretty interesting thing, and I'm not sure who are the other. I'll tell you tomorrow, you know, there might be some weird groups that you don't think of when you think of the Teamsters, like the United Auto Workers have these college teachers unions now as part. So they're right there. You know, their guys are not going to go along with that, but they have to for the greater good of getting more and more money and benefits. So the Teamsters at this moment could be saying, you know what, we think if you're in a union like this, the phrase working class, the whole thing, you're better off in a Trump economy. This will be a few news cycles of this. And I bet you'll hear by tonight on CNN or MSNBC, one of their panels say, well, you know, these Teamsters, they're kind of racist anyhow. You'll start to hear that. They're misogynist. One of them will say, you know, these guys, look at their wives. Look at what they have to endure. That's what you're going to hear. Rather than Trump, with all the baggage, with all the stuff that we talked about, has broken through in a unique way. Who's the last Republican presidential candidate that was in the running? I'd have to go back and have to Google it. So before Trump, we had what? Mitt Romney. No way. McCain, I don't see that either. The Bushes, definitely not. What is the secret sauce? And again, it brings us to this point with President Trump. We see the upside that this is even contested. It's not just they detest Harris. It's that Trump has gone all out and his policies have been effective here. These guys are, a lot of them, America first. They're not woke. If he can just rein in some of the impulses that take away the magic of this. It's magic we're witnessing. That's what I see here. So if it happens on Rich's watch this afternoon, this is a big deal. I don't care what you say about endorsements. This gets at talking about Trump and what he stands for and what that offers in the future for Republicans. I don't know what other Republican out there has the ability for a lot of reasons to do that. We might talk about that tomorrow. All right. 855-839-1210. Let's go to the Earl of Tacony on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Earl, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dom. Real quick, I sent you a link earlier today. I saw something on Twitter, so take that information for what it's worth. But they've been busing in a number of migrants into a northeastern Pennsylvania town called Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania, which is a town I'm very familiar with. I went to school in the area. I live in the area.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small town right on the Susquehanna River, right off of Route 6, which is the main line. I doubt very much that they're bringing that many people for the golf course because Tunkhannock is known mainly for its golf course and the catering area. But there is a Procter & Gamble plant right down the road from Tunkhannock. So this is just my assumption of what people have been saying, that that's possible that they may be bringing in these people to work in some of the local factories because there is some manufacturing in that area.
Well, Earl, to that point, and we'll check on that. Yeah, I did see what you said, and I'm already checking. That's the argument in Springfield and in Charleroi, that some of these businesses were in cahoots, and they brought people in behind the backs of some of the town officials, et cetera, with no notice, no nothing, because that's exactly what they want, cheap labor. Then they have the nerve to say Americans won't work, so we want these people. It's a double whammy going on here.
Right. And we already have problems because I told you that there are benefits from the drilling for the natural gas. But there is also a problem in that area as a result of the drilling. And it's not the problem caused by the gas companies, but by people that are hanging on. The drug cartels put people in with the drilling companies as laborers to seek out new drug markets, because there's been a market increase in our area of drug overdoses. What happens is a lot of the cars up there, the vehicles up there from the gas companies have Oklahoma and Texas tags, and they're bringing Oklahoma and Texas experts to go and do the drilling, and they're bringing local workers from the Texas area to go and work with them for doing unskilled labor.
Yeah, exactly.
And what it is, they're actually working for the cartels, seeking out new markets. It's like hitchhiking. They're hitchhiking along with the gas companies, moving into new rural areas, and then they go and they leave the gas company and they set up drug markets in the area.
Yeah, no, it's not surprising. We've heard this before with prostitution, Earl, so we'll check on it. What's your small town, Earl?
Staying in the same area, sort of based on a town out of Elmira, New York. If you live there, you'll have a wonderful life. It's Bedford Falls, which is based on the city of Seneca Falls and Bedford Hills in the southern tier of New York State.
That's a good one, Bedford Falls, even though mythical, based on something. That's pretty good. We got a couple of good ones so far, at least. All right, we'll have the lightning round next. And this Teamsters thing intrigues me. By tomorrow, we will, we'll know this afternoon, apparently. Are they going to defy their membership in their own poll and say, yeah, well, we can't go with Trump, he's Hitler? I don't think so. All right, 855-839-1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
I don't know if you guys agree with this, but if I'm Trump, I'm no longer taking phone calls from Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. My iPhone rings. You see the little accept or decline button? Decline. I did the photo op with you on 9/11 after the stage debate on ABC. Kamala will be right back on the wagon today, I'm sure, and you're going to hear the same old rhetoric. Not about her opportunity economy and the specifics of what that entails, but just the general entry-level stupid verbiage.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
The economic uncertainty surrounding this year's election is worse than ever before. But crash-proof consumers rest easy. Their retirement future is election-proof.
I'm Rochelle Porto, Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Leading up to the election, we're seeing how bad the economy is and how worried people are. I was looking for a way to secure my investments. That's why I joined Crashproof in 2014. There's no fees, no risk, and growth every year. My principal has never gone down. I've always earned every year. Everything I've earned in that year creates a new principal, so I'm never going to lose what I actually put in. I've got the freedom to live out my dreams, and I've got the peace of mind to know that my retirement's going to go the way I want. No matter what happens on November 5th, 2024, I'm safe. I'm with Crash Proof Retirement.
Learn how you can election-proof your retirement future. Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Spring Hill Country Club on October 16th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Roofing or siding issues? Don't wait. Call Emmons Roofing and Siding.
We provide comprehensive roofing and siding services with a focus on quality and customer satisfaction. And our warranties ensure peace of mind for you and your family.
Protect your home with the best warranties available in the industry.
Call Emmons at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com.
From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
If you're in the restaurant, hospitality, or casino business and your point of sale system isn't helping you sell more, earn more, or work less, you need to talk to my friends at PDQ Signature Systems. PDQ has everything you need for success, including enhanced mobile reporting, direct integration to delivery apps, 24/7 customer service, and so much more. Whether you have a single location restaurant or thousands of locations, Joe Flynn and his team at PDQ can help. Visit pdqpos.com.
Does he love me? What's he thinking? Is he cheating on me?
If love has you guessing, Spirit Now's trusted psychics have the answers. For over 15 years, we've helped thousands find their true path in love. Whether it's your current partner, an ex, or finding your soulmate, our gifted advisors offer clarity and guidance. We'll ease your worries and show you the way forward. With Spirit Now, you can find the comfort and joy you deserve. Wondering if true love is out there? Feeling lost? Our compassionate psychics are ready to listen and guide you. Discover what love has in store. Take advantage of our special offer today. Your first reading is just $1 a minute. Visit spiritnow.com or call 888-809-1444. That's 888-809-1444.
The guidance I got really changed everything for me.
Your first reading is just $1 a minute. Visit spiritnow.com or call 888-809-1444. Your true path in love starts with Spirit Now. Call 888-809-1444.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/gutter to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/gutter. That's leaffilter.com/gutter.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
That is right. And Dom's Lightning Round, sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Enjoy back-to-school savings on a 36-month lease of a 2024 front-wheel drive S60 for only $369 per month down payment, registration fee, and taxes due at inception. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships matter. Apparently, the head of the Teamsters is going to be on Fox with Neil Cavuto. I gotta reach out to someone like John Doherty, Johnny Doc. I will, through a source. Maybe he'll be on tomorrow because he was one of the people that supported some of the stuff that Trump was talking about at various points here in Philadelphia. So what will the local Philadelphia labor leaders, we'll try to get them, if the Teamsters go ahead and endorse President Trump today. I think it's even money that it could happen. Releasing this poll indicates, Harris is not Joe Biden. And what's her reaction going to be? This is juicy stuff. And at Trump's rally tonight, you'll hear a lot. And with Rich, as it comes down, I guess sometime in the 3 o'clock hour, I think it's a big deal. All right, Joe in Bordentown, it's the lightning round, so be quick here. Joe, what's your all-time small town and why?
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive. It's Superman. The town would be Smallville.
Very good. David in Langhorne, he's on the road. Dave, call back. My fault. That shouldn't have gone off, Dave. Mystic, Connecticut.
I'll put him on the board anyway.
Yeah, put him on the board, yes. Let's go to Drew in Upper Darby. Hey, Drew.
Hey, Dom, thanks a lot. You know, Dom, there's a town in Nebraska called Minowie, Nebraska. It's got a grand total population of 1, and she's the mayor. So go figure.
Well, of course, I would hope. Minowie. Dave in Langhorne now. Dave, thanks for being back in Mystic, Connecticut. Why, Dave?
It's got the largest museum, maritime museum. It's got this, the big tall ships. And, the whale watching industry is going to go away because all the greenies are killing all the whales.
Absolutely, Dave. Good. I like how you got the politics in on that. The great Joe of Exton. Joe, afternoon.
Yes, hello, Dom, and good afternoon. My small town is Middlebury, Vermont. Middlebury is the site of Middlebury College, known for its renown and excellence in the teaching of foreign languages.
All right, Joe, right on brand as always. There you go. You can't make this up. People think we script him. No, he's a real guy. He's not an actor. Dave in Wyncote, Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Dave, what's yours today?
Dominic, what I'm going to do is Charles Carolyn in a Sunday morning show years ago did a feature on Penn's Park in Bucks County, Wrightstown Township. A very historical, small town, about 3,200 residents between Richboro and New Hope.
I used to like the Kuralt on the road again. I love that type of stuff. Absolutely. The backwoods of America. A lot of great small towns out there. It's a shame they're under fire from progressives, though. Joe in Fishtown. There's a great small town. Joe, what's yours?
Dom, all the businesses are shut down, even the local movie theater, and everybody's tuned into the radio with their fingers crossed for Hickory High School in the championship game, Hickory, Indiana.
Yes. The great scene there, Henry, when they go, all right, here's what we're going to do. What's the name, Scarrett, the coach? We're going to trick him. And they all look at him. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No, it's my reaction, too.
Oh, it's everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, you dance with who brung you. Jimmy's going to shoot it. That's what the play
The
is.
response.
Right. We don't.
I'll make it.
Yeah, exactly. We don't care how many people you put on Jimmy. Jimmy is going to shoot it. No flim-flam here. Based upon pretty much a true story. Last one, Bruce in the Northeast. Bruce, what's yours?
Hey, Dom, the late, great Phillies ball player, Dick Allen, number 15?
Yep.
He grew up in a small town called Wampum, Pennsylvania. Always remember that.
Absolutely. One of my all-time favorite players. What he did early in his career was remarkable. All right, Henry, we got about 30 seconds. Give us a couple contenders today. These were good.
Yeah, I like Jerry and Wilmington's call when he referenced Groundhog Day when he brought up Punxsutawney. I also liked Joe and Exton's call, Middlebury, Vermont.
Right.
He didn't know this, but my fraternity was founded there, so he's got a little soft spot for me there. And then, of course, Joe in Fishtown with the Hickory Hoosiers. Gotta go there. I gotta throw that one in as well.
Yeah, I liked, because of the entertaining call, I liked Jerry in Wilmington. That was beautifully done about Punxsutawney. Mm-hmm. All right, we will do it all tomorrow. Let's, fingers crossed, if the Teamsters endorse President Trump, that doesn't win the election, of course. But it opens up the whole avenue to talk about the difference with Trump versus Kamala Harris. All right, Richie always next. We're back tomorrow for 3 big hours right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
40 days up to 40 pounds. Say it with me.